Namaste children, welcome to Samveda e-classes learning program. How are you children? I think you are very good. My dear children, today I am going to teach real numbers in lesson number 8 for class 10th. I can teach this lesson number in 4 videos, my dear students. I welcome for the first part, my dear students. My dear children, I can start this class by a beautiful quote given by the greatest mathematician, that is Paul Almas. The only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. See, what a beautiful quote given by Paul Almas. If you want to learn mathematics, the only simple logic is to do the mathematics. That's all, my dear students. Okay? How I salute the Paul Almas for giving the wonderful and beautiful quote, my dear students. Now, I welcome you the word of real numbers, my dear students. In class 9th, you began your exploration of the word of real numbers and encountered a rational number, my dear students. In class 9th, you learn natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, irrational numbers, and some more about real numbers. In this class, we are going to learn more about the real numbers. We continue our discussion on real numbers in this chapter, my dear students. There are 2 important things you are going to learn in this session, my dear students, in this class. That is, we began with our 2 very important properties of positive integers in these sessions in 1.2 and 1.3, namely the Euclid division algorithm and the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, my dear students. Now, let us play a quiz, my dear students. Are you ready? Yes, let us come. See, this is a first question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and dash dash dash. These numbers are called. The options are C, A, whole number, B, natural number, C, irrational number, D, integer. Yes, think and answer, my dear students. Yes, you are right. That is natural numbers. Congratulations, my dear students. Let us move on to the next one. See, what is that? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Here one number is added, that is 0 is added. This set of numbers are called what? The options are whole numbers, natural numbers, irrational numbers and integers. Think and answer, my dear students. Yes, you are right, that is whole numbers. Wow, congratulations. Now, let us move on to the next one, my dear students. The collection of rational numbers is denoted by, the options are Q, N, R and Z, my dear students. See, the answer is, you are thinking, yes, that is Q, my dear students. Okay. Now, another question is there. Define a real number. Now, what is a real number? You learned the definition in the previous class, in the previous year. So, my dear students, real numbers are simply the combination of a rational and irrational number, my dear students. It is a set of rational numbers and irrational numbers, my dear students. Now, another one definition is there. Any number that we can think of except the complex number is a real number, my dear students. Okay. See, this is a beautiful definition. We can visualize this, the concept of real numbers by the picture. It is very clear. Real number contains the set of natural numbers, the set of whole numbers, the set of integers, the set of rational numbers. Rational number contains integer, whole numbers and natural numbers, and also one more is irrational numbers. See, the set of rational and irrational number is real number, my dear students. Okay, I think the concept is clear now. Let's move on to learn more about what are the learning concepts in this class. In class 10, there are 4 learning concepts, my dear students. In the first session, we are going to learn Euclid division lemma and some more examples regarding Euclid division lemma. In second session, we are going to learn the examples of Euclid division lemma and the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. In the third session, we are going to learn some more examples regarding the fundamental theorem of arithmetic and revisiting irrational numbers. One more important concept, that is revisiting rational numbers and their decimal expansion in the fourth session, my dear students. Now, let's ready to learn. Take your pen and paper and pen and notebook and note down the important things, my dear students. See, in the first session, I already told you the Euclid division lemma and some examples regarding Euclid division lemma. Before going to start this class, let's start with a puzzle. I think you are very interested in the puzzle now. So, this is the puzzle. A trader was moving along a road selling eggs. An idler who did not have much work to do started to get the trader into a wordy duel. This grew into a fight. He pulled the basket of eggs and dashed it on the floor, my dear students. What happens then? The eggs broken. The trader complained or requested the panchayat to ask the idler to pay for the broken eggs or pay for the loss. The panchayat asked the trader how many legs were broken. Then the trader replied with a beautiful responses. See, what are those? I will show you, my dear students. He gave the following responses. If it counted in pairs, 1 will remain. If counted in threes, 2 will remain. If counted in fours, 3 will remain. See, if counted in pairs, 1 will remain. If counted in threes, 2 will remain. If counted in fours, 3 will remain. If counted in fives, 4 will remain. If counted in 6, 5 will remain. If counted in sevens, nothing will remain, my dear students. And the basket cannot accommodate more than 150 eggs. Okay, I think the basket cannot accommodate. That means the basket is less than 150 or equal to 150 eggs it contains, my dear students. Now, it's a time for you to solve this puzzle, my dear students. How many eggs were there? Let's try and solve the puzzle. Are you ready? Yes, you can start. Okay, I will solve this. Let's the number of eggs be A. Then working backwards, we see that A is less than or equal to 150. I already told you. If counted in sevens, nothing will remain, which translate to A, that if we put in an equation A is equal to 7p, the remainder is 0, so plus 0. Here p is some natural number, my dear students. And if counted in sixes, 5 will remain. It translate, it put into an equation A is equal to 6q plus 5. For some natural numbers here, q is a natural number. And if counted in fives, 4 will remain. It translates to A, that A is equal to 5w plus 4. For some, here w is a natural number. And if counted in fours, 3 will remain. It translates to A, that is A is equal to 4s plus 3. Here S is natural number. If counted in threes, 2 will remain. It translates to A, that is A is equal to 3t plus 2. Here t is a natural number. And if counted in pairs, 1 will remain. It translates to A, that is 2u plus 1. Here u is a natural number, my dear students. Now, observe that in each case we have positive integer. A and B are the positive integers. In examples, B takes the values 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 respectively, my dear students. A and B are positive integers. B takes the value 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 respectively, and which divides A, the B divides A and leaves the remainder, that is R. In each case, if you notice, the R is 0, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1 respectively, my dear students. That is, if you notice, it is smaller than B. Okay. Now, the moment we write down such equations using Euclid division lemma, which given the theorem 1.1, getting back to our puzzle, do you solve? Do you have any idea to solve it? Yes, my dear students. You must look for the multiples of 7 which satisfy all the conditions, my dear students. By trial and error, using the concept of LCM, you will find you had 119x, my dear students. See, it is less than or equal to 150. So, how it is? I will show you, my dear students. If you take 119 and divide by 2, we will get the remainder is 1. If you take 119 and divide by 3, we will get the remainder 2. If you take 119 divide by 4, we will get the remainder 3. If you take 119 and divide it by 5, we will get the remainder is 4. If you take 119 and divide it by 6, you will get the remainder 5. If you take 119 and divided by 7, we will get the remainder is 0, my dear students. Wow! How is it? Okay, you give a class for this beautiful puzzle, my dear students. Let's try another puzzles in your textbook, theorem 1.1, that is Euclid's division lemma. What is Euclid division lemma? Given positive integers A and B, there exist a unique integers Q and R satisfying the following relation, that is A is equal to BQ plus R, where R is less than or equal to 0, it is less than B. See, this is Euclid division lemma, my dear students. For given two positive integers, any two positive integers, either A, B or C, D, anyone, there exists a unique integer, that is Q is a quotient and R is a remainder satisfying the following statement or condition, that is A is equal to B into Q plus R, that R is less than or equal to 0, less than B, my dear students. Now, this result was perhaps known for a long time, but was first recorded in the book of the great mathematician written by Euclid in the Euclidean Elements 7, and Euclid division lemma or Euclid division algorithm is based on lemma. Now, what is algorithm? What is lemma? Now, let's welcome you to learn more about algorithm and lemma, my dear students. See, what is an algorithm? Algorithm is a series of well-defined steps, my dear students, which gives a procedure for solving a problem. If you want to solve the problem, there is some steps and there is some procedure is there. It is a series of well-defined steps which gives a procedure for solving a type of problem. Say given problem. A type means a given problem. That is real number problems. the word algorithm comes from the name of the 9th century, the greatest mathematician and a Persian mathematician, Al-Khwarizmi. See, in fact, even the word algebra is derived from the book he wrote called Hizb al-Jabr wal Muqabala. Okay, my dear students. Now, what is lemma? It is a proven statement. It is used for to solve another statement, my dear students. I think you know about the algorithm and lemma. Let's move on to the further, my dear students. Euclid division algorithm is a technique, my dear students. It is a technique to compute the HCF, highest common factor or greatest common divisor of given any two positive integer, my dear students. It is a technique to compute the HCF of a given two positive integers, my dear students. Recall the HCF of two positive integers a and b is the largest positive integer, that is common divisor, that is d, that divides both a and b. You have to recall what you learned in the previous years, my dear students. Let us see how algorithm works through an example. First, my dear students, suppose we need to find the HCF of the given integers 455 and 42. You can take two integers here, 455 and 42. What to do now? Now, we start with the larger integer, that is 455. You can take it as the dividend and 42 as a divisor. See, divide 455 by 42, we will get 42 into 10. It leaves the remainder 35. So, that is 455, we can write it as 42 into 10 plus the leaves remainder is 35, my dear students. Now, we can continue this further steps. Let's come. Now, consider the divisor 42 and the remainder 35. Now, divisor you have to convert it as dividend and the remainder will you have to convert as divisor. Then see, here 42 is the greatest number, you have to divide by 35, we will get 35 into 1, the remainder is 7. If you put in equation, 42 can be written as 35 into 1 plus the remainder is 7, my dear students. Now, next consider the divisor 35 and the remainder 7 and apply the division lemma, that is 35 is equal to, you have to divide it by 7, 7 into 5, the remainder is 0, my dear students. When the remainder is 0, the divisor is the HCF, my dear students. Wow, wonderful, na? Yes. Notice that the remainder has become 0 and we can't proceed any further. We will stop the problem. We claim that HCF of 455 and 42 is the divisor at this stage is, that is 7, my dear students. So, the HCF is 7, my dear students. If you want, you can listing all the factors of 455 and 42 and check it. The HCF of those two numbers are 7, my dear students. Why this method work? It works because of the following result, my dear students. What are those results? So, let us state Euclid division algorithm clearly. To obtain the HCF of two positive integers, say a and b, with a always greater than b, you have to follow these steps, my dear students. The wonderful steps you have to follow to solve the problem, my dear students, using Euclid division algorithm. So, what are those steps? I will tell you. Step 1, applied Euclid division lemma to a and b. So, we find whole numbers, my dear students. Here q and r such that q is a quotient or is a remainder. You have to write the statement a is equal to b into q plus r, where r is less than or equal to 0 and it less than always b. Step 2, what we have to do? If r is 0, b is the HCF of a and b. If r is not equal to 0, what to do now? Apply the division lemma to b and r and continue. Step 3, you continue the process till the remainder is 0. The divisor at this stage will be required HCF, my dear students. See, you have to follow these 3 steps. What are those? I will recall once it again. Step 1, apply Euclid division lemma to A and B. So, we find the whole numbers, that is Q and R, such that A is equal to BQ plus R, where R is always less than or equal to 0 and less than B. If R is 0, B is the HCF of A and B. If not, you have to apply the division lemma further. And the step 3, continue the process till the remainder is 0. The divisor at this stage will be required HCF, my dear students. Now, let us solve some problems and understand more about this concept, my dear students. Use Euclid division algorithm to find HCF of 135 and 225, my dear students. So, what to do now? Take 225 as a dividend and 135 as a divisor. 225 divided by 135, the remainder is 90, my dear students. See, this is dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, my dear students. You have to write in this pattern, my dear students. Now, here the 135, now it is B be the A and R be the B now. That is, the divisor be the dividend and the remainder will be the divisor in the second step, my dear students. See, 135 is a dividend and 90 is the divisor. If you divide, we will get 90 into 1, 90, and the remainder is 45. So, 135, it is equal to 90 into 1 plus 45, but here remainder is not 0, my dear students. So, we have to proceed further, my dear students. Now, what to do now? See, 90 now it is a B. Now, it become the A, that means it become the dividend, and 45 will become the divisor. See, yes, yes. Now, 45, 90 divided by 45 will get 45 into 2, so the remainder is 0. Now, the B, here the B, the divisor is the HCF, my dear students. What is the divisor? 45, 45 is the HCF, my dear students. How it is? Wonderful now. Please note down, my dear students. Okay, I move on to the next one. Now, it is a time for you to solve the problem. Use Euclid division algorithm to find the HCF of 867 and 225, my dear students. A time for you to solve. I will show the result. You have to verify your answer. See, 867 is a dividend and 225 is the divisor and the remainder is 102. You have to continue the next step. 225 is the dividend and 102 is the divisor and the remainder is 51. Here 102 is a dividend, 51 is the divisor and the remainder is 0. Now, what is HCF? Here B, the B here, the divisor, when the remainder is 0, then that is the HCF, my dear students. So, answer is 51, my dear students. The answer is 51. Okay? I think so many students solve this problem. Congratulations. If anybody done a mistake, you have to correct it, my dear students. Let us move on to the another one example. Show that, see, it is a word problem. Show that every positive integer is of the form of 2q and that every positive odd number is of the form of 2q plus 1, where q is some integer. You have to show that every positive even integer is of the form of 2q and every positive odd integer is in the form of 2q plus 1, where q is some integer. How to solve? Let us a be positive integer and b is equal to 2. Why? Because they are already given here b. Then by Euclid's algorithm, a is equal to 2q plus r. For some integer, q is greater than or equal to 0 and r. Now, what is the remainder here? I already told you remainder is less than q. So, that is here q is here b. I already told you remainder is always less than b. So, b here is 2. So, the remainder is 0 or 1. So, because this is the statement, because r is always less than or equal to 0 or less than 2. So, a is equal to 2q plus r for some integers q is greater than or equal to 0 and r is equal to 0 or r is equal to 1, my dear students, because I already told the statement. So, a is equal to, see, if you put r is equal to 0, then a is equal to 2q. If you put r is equal to 1, then a is equal to 2q plus r. Therefore, a is equal to 2q or 2q plus 1, my dear students. If a is of the form of 2q, then a is an even integer, my dear students. Also, a positive integer can either be even or odd. Therefore, any positive odd integer is in the form of 2q plus 1, my dear students. See, you have to solve the problem like this, my dear students. I think you understand. Please note it down. Okay. Now, it is a time for you to give the homework. Please note down the homework. Use Euclid's algorithm to find the HCF of 4052 and 12,576. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is some integer. You have to solve this problem, my dear students. You have to solve this using, I already told you, you have to use the Euclid algorithm and a series of steps, and you have to solve this problem and show it to your teacher and correct it, my dear students. The second one is, I already told you, show that any positive odd integer is of the form of 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is some integer. Here b is 4, my dear students. I will give a hint for you to solve this problem. Here b is 4. So, b is 4, that means the r remainder is less than b. So, the t is less than b means the remainder is either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, my dear students. Using that hint, you have to solve the second problem, my dear students. Today, we learn many more about the real numbers. The first concept, let us learn more about in the next class. Thank you. Namaste.